Peter, I'm going to start with a tweet that you just sent a couple of hours ago, talking about, and I am so shocked and surprised how a lot of China is shut down, a lot of factories are shut down, a lot of factories, almost 30-35% of factories in Vietnam are shut down, causing queues to build up in the South China Sea. This is happening today, right now. And we are also right now talking about the Delta variant and everything shutting down again. Are we in for another global shutdown?
Fingers crossed, not. But but what we're seeing in the Far East right now is surely a warning sign that we need to take very seriously. You mentioned the fact that a significant part of the manufacturing facilities in Vietnam have only recently been closed. Ports and terminals are operated at lower level than they would otherwise be, and we have only earlier this week also seen from China something of at least similar tendencies. We haven't seen real lockdowns again like we saw in January, February of last year. Fingers crossed that will not happen again, but we will know that the Chinese authority deal with any variant of COVID in a very harsh way in order to make it stop. And we saw that in Yantian only also 1.5 months ago, where there was a COVID outbreak that impacted container shipping at that point in time. But imagine just for a moment that we will see several Yantian incidents all along the Chinese coastline. That means that we're in for a rough ride of a different scale for container shipping going forward if that happens.
Right, because one of the biggest, I was so fascinated with this, shipping lanes is Far East to North America. That's one of the biggest shipping lanes. And right now it's jam-packed because of the backlog and prices are increasing. So what's going on with that Far East shipping, with the Far East to North America shipping lanes? There's been some rumblings here that ports in Portland and Seattle are jam-packed, ships are waiting to dock. How is that affecting the global supply chain?
It's affecting the global supply chain to a very large extent, because if just to give you a brief overview of the way that global liner shipping works, it basically brings around a lot of semi-finished goods to manufacturing hubs where finished containerized goods then are shipped all over the world. China is the world champion on this, but the greater area in the Far East is basically the manufacturing hub of the world, and container shipping links the production facilities with the consumers in the West or in the Americas, wherever, also in Africa, all across the globe. But what we have seen from the US in their comeback in order to basically revamp the economy of the United States, we have seen not an unprecedented amount of stimuli, but one which is exceeded only by the stimulus following the 2 world wars. So obviously, with a lot of American consumers eager to spend the money that they have been given by Capitol Hill, that have seen a 40% rise in containerized goods traveling cross-Pacific. And this is one of the vital transits for container shipping from the Far East into North America. The other vital artery of goods goes from Far East to Europe. So those are high volume, long distance. And it's so fast that the demand from the US have built up. So container ships have basically been busy transporting boxes, whereas the container ship terminals and ports alongside the whole Pacific coastline of North America have been unable to handle those boxes as the ships have arrived. So we have seen for the past year, basically, in particular around the San Pedro Bay, where ships that are heading into the ports of Long Beach and Port of LA is anchoring up prior to docking and reloading and also getting boxes back on the empties that they need to return to the Far East. So that whole clogging up of the supply chain have also resulted in what we, I guess, are also going to talk about here, record high freight rates. Liner companies across the globe have been capable of negotiating super high freight rates on the spot market, but also more vitally, if we look further ahead, the contract volumes, which is the main bone for the liners, and especially when you look further ahead, where those key clients get to a certain extent, book in advance their boxes on board the ships to make sure that they can actually get them in due time for the various seasons when they need them on the shelf for the sale. But right now we are close to a breakdown. It is not a breakdown of global supply chains, but we have really seen an issue with those boxes being turned around, especially in North America, and that have caused a global shortage of containers in the Far East, and that have basically been one of the catalysts behind this inflation of freight rates that have multiplied the cost of logistics for many retailers across the globe by hundreds and thousands of %.